welcome to today's episode of Start Your Engines, featuring Justin, yours truly, and me, Seth Shaquin. Not as cool as Justin, but we're going to talk about famous NASCAR topics, what's going on in the world of NASCAR, and being able to do what we love every day. So be sure to leave a comment, leave anything that you guys wanted to discuss about, and Justin and I will commentate on it.
All right. First and foremost, I think we should start with a little start the show on a little somber note. Um, so Tyler Reddick family, everyone needs to have them in their thoughts, and Seth can chime in and help me elaborate on what's going on. But
Yes. So basically, Tyler Reddick's boy, rookie, is experiencing some heart failure issues. Being sent in the hospital, kind of just trying to monitor his heart rhythms. It is getting better. As of today, it is better. But it's hard to see when you're in the racing community, as Justin and I are, just as fans, but to see another driver have some unfortunate things happen in the world is really, really tough to watch, right? Because they're the people that we want to be like, the people that we want to be around, because that's the sport that we love. And it really shows that those race car drivers they're really impressive, but they're humans too, right? And they have human tendencies, they have human things go on in their lives, and that's because we're all the same. We are all human, and things occur, and it shows that life beats work. They're race car drivers, but that's their job, right? That's not who they are. That's not what their life is outside of the racetrack. It's for them to experience the life with their family and friends. And unfortunately, Rookie is sick and not feeling very great. And my thoughts and prayers go to Tyler Reddick and his family.
yes, so now let's get into what we're here to do. And that is to talk about happy motorsports fans. So where do we want to begin, Seth?
I mean, holy macaroni! You want to talk about the Roval? Holy moly! There's so many topics that can go on. I could talk for hours about this past weekend, and what else to say than SVG wins, right? I mean, did we even think that that was even a question? That he would be up front, potentially winning this thing. Now, it was tighter. It was closer. Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell did a really good job of kind of being in the play, being in kind of contention for it. But that's going to all be overshadowed by a lot of different outcomes of the race, right? We're going to look at Ross Chastain and Joey Logano battling for the final spot. I personally wasn't happy with the outcome, but that's just me personally. I really like Ross Chastain, um, and to see him fall off before we talk about the him falling off and losing some positions. How about the tire fall off? Right, that was really impressive. That the tires were falling off that quickly, where it was kind of a strategy game. It wasn't just the fastest cars out there leading. It's about tire management, tire performance, holding your lines, and whatnot. But I kind of want to see what kind of Justin's opinion is on the finish, and then the decision that Ross Chastain made at the end of the race.
Yeah. I thought, you know, Dylan Hagula had this saying called slag up, and and now people's probably going to say that well, watch casting was aggressive, but you have to be aggressive in this format, otherwise you get eliminated like we saw with Ross.
Yeah, it's kind of a box, right? These drivers are in a box. They don't want to do it. They're forced to do it. And I never even thought Ross Chastain would even get to the back bumper of Denny Hamlin, and he was able to get there pretty easily. And was able to spin him out. But my next question to you is, with regarding NASCAR's inconsistency, Justin and I both know that when it comes to penalties, NASCAR can be pretty inconsistent. If Ross Chastain was able to spin Denny and be able to hold his position and not spin out, would NASCAR penalize Ross Chastain for that move?
Uh, that's hard to say. I don't don't have an answer for you on that one because again it's hard to say. They might penalize him, they might not.
If he weren't to wreck out, or if he weren't able to spin out, the reason why that I'm saying that, Justin, is I'm trying to make a point here, and it kind of shows kind of the box that those drivers are in, and the kind of excitement that NASCAR wants in this playoff system. This is the
Yeah.
one. There's like two flaws that I could think of when it comes to this format. And it comes to down to really two things. I think it comes down to putting yourself in the position when it comes down to the final race. But if people could just go on and how is it any different than what Austin Dillon did earlier at Richmond?
It's really not.
No, I don't think it's different at all. And I'm not faulting Ross or any of them because that's what they had to do, right? But this goes into NASCAR's inconsistency. It's not. Believe me, I love the sport, but we're moving towards where this could be a really big problem. And moving forward from this, I was able to hear some. I don't know if Justin was able to get the news today, or it was a couple days ago, I guess, yesterday, that there was more communication infractions between Cole Custer and Alex Bowman, where they were told to not pass. So here we go again. They
Yeah.
didn't explicitly say, "Oh, don't pass them." They're just like, "Hey, save your tires for a restart." And they say that save your tires for a restart, and they're on the final lap. Caution comes out, the race is over. So there's no point to save anything. And I think that has a good that needs to be the talking point when it comes down to this system. It's exciting. I think Justin and I both agree that this is a very exciting format. You
Yeah.
gotta be consistent. You gotta perform. But like anything, there's gonna be flaws. And I just kind of want to hear Justin's kind of input towards, what my opinion is in tonight's beginning scene thing, and just kind of see what he could say, and then we'll move forward on this.
Yeah. I tend to agree with you on a couple different things. And that is probably something we can visit towards the end of the episode, but for now, I think we can move forward and come back again later.
Yeah, I mean, like I think one of the next things we could talk about is just from the weekend in general, right? Um, and just how much I think one of the number one spotlights that we need to put on a driver is Corey Heim. And the reason why I'm saying this is he was dealt with adversity in turn one of the race in the truck race. And he came back and won. I mean, that takes talent in itself, right? I mean,
Right.
that's a whole different thing. It's a whole different thing when you're literally leading the race the entire time versus you just coming up and actually working through everybody and making it back up to the front. I think that takes a lot of talent. That takes a lot of skill. And the whole truck race at the Roval, I don't even remember them ever racing at the Roval. So this has got to be one of their first times, right? And
Very first time, and I missed it.
he missed it, but we're gonna move on in the episode and talk to you why he missed that. But it's kind of interesting, just kind of how much excitement comes down to the elimination rounds, right? When you got Bristol, then you got the Roval, then you got Martinsville. All three of those that causes issues. So I think that there's a lot of excitement things coming into Vegas. But before we talk about Vegas, because something else happened this past week, and Justin's going to talk about his experience over at Toledo in the ARCA Championship race. How was it, Justin?
It it was to die for. For those of you that did not hear, I went to Toledo Speedway this weekend for the ARCA Championship. I jumped on here and talked a little bit about it, but we thought we'd take about 10 minutes or so and kind of talk to you guys about the ARCA series and give that series a little bit of love. So where do you want to start, Seth?
I think the best thing to start is just your experience, right? I mean, the ARCA Menard series has always been dear to my heart because there's some drivers that those drivers you could have interactions with. They're not truly famous quite yet. They're still working on their craft. And you can go up there and just have a conversation with people. And I was able to do that multiple times. But just kind of, you went to the championship ARCA race. I mean, Justin, kind of elaborate. What was the most exciting part of that trip? What was the most exciting thing that you saw? And ultimately, Butterbean got the win. But kind of walk us through kind of what it was like to be in Toledo.
All right, so it was kind of awesome. For those of you that didn't know, we were uh with Braden Lester, who got the Ucker '06 car. Um, and Braden's been on this channel before, and he's a really good um driver, up and comer who had a contest, and we were lucky enough to have the honor to go mm, and be in Toledo with them, and it was just awesome because we met uh, Bobby Labonte
Yeah.
again,
You know,
and
I don't mean to interrupt you, Justin, but we got some people in the chat. Paul Walker. If it's the Paul Walker, then okay, I'll say it. 6'7", whatever that means. And then Taryn, hello. Thanks for joining. Thanks for saying hi. If you guys got any NASCAR topics or any sports topics, Justin and I are more than happy to discuss it. I can't believe it, Justin. Paul Walker is in our chat right now.
uh,
The Paul Walker is in our chat right now. But yeah, I think that's an amazing experience for you to experience. So when he says we experience, that's him. That's not me. I don't win nothing because I'm not cool, unlike him. And I say that every episode. So
So we interacted with Bobby Bonnie, and it was quite awesome because Bobby gave us 15 kind of minutes of his time after the event, and we uh interviewed uh interviewed the driver he was with, the driver of the 18 Matt Putzkoffen, and and catch that interview on this YouTube channel. It's a little short. So, hello everyone, thanks for joining us.
if you guys got any NASCAR topics or anything you want to discuss or sports topics, I'm a big sports fan. Justin's as big as a NASCAR fan as anyone else in the world. We would love to discuss anything with you guys and be able to have a debate. I like going back and forth with people. So just anything. If you could think of anything, leave a comment. We'll get to it. But wow, Justin, I'm so eccentric that you got the opportunity to go. I kind of wish that I would have packed in your suitcase and you could have taken me with. But like I said, I'm tall and it's really hard to fit in suitcases. So let alone that might stop me from my racing dream. But that's for a different topic. That's for a different topic. But yeah, I think we can move on to Las Vegas if Justin wants to move on. If he's got anything more to say about Toledo, we're all ears. But
No, I really think Toledo is a great track to go to, because on top of that, the racing was just phenomenal in Toledo. But let's move on to Vegas and
yeah, real quick though, I wanna let the group know. If you're a big ARCA fan, I found this out actually kind of interesting. I don't know how many races she does. But if this ever reaches Cassidy Davenport or the Davenport family, I know that you do ARCA races, and I actually used to race against you in go karts over in Iowa. And if you're looking for someone to follow, the Davenport family is an incredible family to watch. They're talented. The last race that I saw, I was actually there in person at Iowa Speedway. Got to see her tearing it around over there in the short launch race. So definitely, if you're looking for a driver in the ARCA series, the Davenport family is a great family to watch, especially Candace.
good, good way to Clan Gibson.
Yeah, it's just all a big racing family, right, Justin? People are just all connected. We're all around each other, and it's an amazing environment.
Yes. Um, but Seth, what's going to happen in your opinion in Vegas? This
Toyotas, Toyotas, Toyotas. Expect the Toyotas to be up front. Expect a lot of them to really perform. I think it's not bad to think that Joey Logano is going to be up front. Like he's doing exactly what he did like a couple years ago, where he barely squeaked by in the round of 12, won the race in the round of 8, put himself into the championship 4, and won the championship. But according to the statistics, he only wins in even years the championship 2018, 2020, and 2022. And last time I checked, it's 2025. So it's not an even year. So let's see if we could be a myth bust on that. But I'm sure he thinks of that too. But I think if you're going to look at really what's to come, I think Toyota's going to do good. Hendrick's really good when it comes down the mile and a half too. A driver that I'm really putting my mind on, and I don't know if Justin thinks about this just like I do, but it is going to be the make or break race, in my opinion, for Kyle Larson. I think Kyle Larson is going to be very, very strong this weekend. And maybe it's a chance where he can move himself on. Everybody wants to move on, right? Because, the race after Vegas is a very big track that causes a lot of wrecks.
Hmm.
And then you move on to Martinsville, where people do really crazy stuff like ride the wall. So I think you want to win Vegas and not care about whatever happens there. So I kind of want to hear Justin's opinion and kind of what to expect. Let's save Talladega for its own show and then Martinsville for its own show. What do you expect for Vegas as a mile and a half, and who do you think is really going to show up?
Ooh, goodness. I think the five Lawsons will gonna show up like you were saying. But if it's not Lawson, I'm wearing a hat. It's going to be the line of Chase Elliott because he won at Kansas. You look at Kansas and Vegas, they're both mile and a halves. They both have similar stuff.
Hmm. So let me do you one better, and I'm just going to throw this out. Just yes or no, like this. Does Denny Hamlin make it into the championship four? Yes.
Yes,
Yes. Okay. Does he win or does he point himself in?
let's say he points himself in.
I like that answer. I think Denny either barely makes it in or barely misses it because of a point situation. I think his best shot obviously is Vegas. I think Martinsville is where he could really do well too. Of course, he's a Daytona bump draft kind of guy, but Talladega's been rough on him. So I and would it be crazy if Ryan Blaney wins at Talladega? Everybody's like, how many times does that guy won at Talladega? Like multiple, multiple, multiple times. So I think it's safe to bet that Ryan Blaney and Penske's going to be Talladega, and I think Hendrick's really going to show up when it comes down to to Las Vegas. But we mentioned him earlier in the show, really early in the show, and his son. What about Tyler Reddick?
Ye-
I could see Tyler Reddick doing very well this weekend. Um, when it comes to mile and a half, 23:11 does really good at mile and a halves. I think that's really exciting. You can look at all the different aspects, right? Chase Briscoe, does he point himself in? Does he win to get in? There's so many different. And no one, another driver we haven't talked about
for a
dri-
couple of weeks.
for a long time. For I can't even remember the last time we talked. William Byron.
Yeah,
Like he's just quiet, and I think he's just gonna stay quiet, and maybe something develops. But I hope the 24 is a victory. It gets in the championship four because obvious reasons. Me being a Gordon fan, I love the 24. But it you know, it's one of those things where it's like you really don't know what's gonna happen.
yeah. Um. So anyway, couple more things before we wrap up the show here. What did you think about the Xfinity race? Um, I saw a couple highlights. Can you elaborate, Seth, on what sort of the controversy was in the Xfinity race?
I think the
Before,
Xfinity race, to be honest with you, seemed a little tame. There wasn't really um a lot being said. I think the when it comes to Xfinity, I think it was really, really good racing, but there wasn't really any controversy. I think a lot of the controversy came from the truck drivers, and because that was their first time doing it. If you haven't seen Matt Crafton's radio after he got spun out, it's poetic gold. I mean, it's stinking hilarious. You do not want to make that guy mad. By the way, the Xfinity race was pretty tame. Like there wasn't much kind of going on. There was some highlights going on here and there, but the best drivers were up in the front, and it was a good race to watch. Nice, clean, good race.
Yeah. And so um we are about out of time as it's almost 8 o'clock on the East Coast and 7 out here on the Midwest.
But
And
on Justin's episode, I think he deserves a good shout out, Justin here. If you guys don't know, yours truly, Justin over here was nominated uh, for Easter Seals and an amazing award. So make sure to give some love in the chat. Give some love to this amazing guy. And I think it's really exciting for him and his family. Not only is because of him, but when he goes and wins that award, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there at the table, celebrating up with that handsome guy over there. And I think we should all just really say congratulations to the person who created this channel, the person that nominated some loner across the street to join him here. So if you want to say something in the chat or whatever, please do. All you gotta do is write it, click it, send it, and Justin's gonna love it. So please take a moment, say congratulations to Justin and his family. And I'm very honored to be with someone of that caliber on this show.
wow. And, where did that come from?
I don't know, just came out, just like a lot of other things.
Yeah. But on that on that note, the checkered flag has fallen on another episode of
Start your
the
engines.
Ravens.
And when that checker flag dropped, I was on my roof.
Okay, on that note, this has been Score Your
Engines.
Engines with Seth and Justin. See you guys next week
Have a great week,
after
guys.
after Las Vegas. Goodbye,
Goodbye.
everyone.